Hey guys, I don't know what that cough was all about, but anyways, hi guys, Celia here. Welcome to Celia's Paranormal Vlogs. I said I would do my storytelling and share some experiences I had growing up that were kind of scary. So, my first one is one that I don't think I will ever forget. This took place in New York City, on the Lower East Side. We lived in a very large 4 bedroom, 1.5 bath apartment, and we were all staying there, family, for the holidays and during the summer. And my cousins and I were at the apartment, and that apartment had a lot of strange occurrences. A lot of strange events had happened there, things that I couldn't even explain. As a child, I couldn't explain it as well. But one night in particular that I remember was we were we were little kids. My cousin Amy, she has this baby blanket that she was really attached to. Like, it was like her security blanket. And to this day, she still has a piece of that blanket. It's so old, so she still has a little piece of it. She was very attached to that blanket. She wouldn't let anyone hold that blanket. She wouldn't let anyone touch that blanket. I mean, it it was just her security. Amy reminded me of Linus. She always had her blanket with her, no matter where she went. So one night we were all woken by her yelling at someone saying, "Give me my blanket." And mind you, it was very, very late at night. We were all wondering why or who she was yelling at. She might have been about 8, 9 years old, maybe a little bit older. I'm not sure. But she was really attached to this blanket. And the way the apartment was set up is that all the bedrooms were towards the back, and then you have this long hallway, and to the right was the living room. From the living room you could enter the kitchen, but also if you continue going straight down that hallway and not taking the right into the living room, there was an entry area to the kitchen as well. So you had two entrances to the kitchen. But we did witness the blanket being pulled, and she was actually chasing the blanket. There was nobody on the other end of the blanket. The blanket went in from the farthest end entrance to the kitchen and around through the living room, and it was around and around, and she kept saying, "Give me my blanket, give me my blanket." And of course, we're kids too, and we didn't really understand what the heck was going on. My mom, everyone was there. Her mom was there, and they witnessed it as well. And I think the shock of it, they didn't really react the way that I guess another person would react, where they'd chase the blanket also or whatever. But we literally watched Amy chase this blanket in and out of the kitchen and through the living room and the hallway, kitchen, living room, until she finally got a hold of the blanket. She got a hold of the blanket, and she was tugging the blanket, and something was tugging it back, on the other end. We couldn't see anything. We couldn't hear anything. And she kept saying, "Let go of my blanket. It's my blanket. You're ugly. Give me my blanket. Give me my blanket. You're ugly. I don't like you anymore." And the blanket was suddenly released, knocking her to the ground because she yanked so hard. The only thing I could remember was my mom asking her who was holding the blanket, and she said the ugly person was holding the blanket. We never knew who this ugly person was or what this ugly person was. To her, it was another child. But where this entity came from, we we don't know where it came from. And as time flew and we got older, other things started to happen in that apartment. And I wish I could visit that apartment to this day, because I'm interested in knowing if the people that are there now, or the people that were there before the ones that are there now, have had any experiences. We have seen all of the photos and picture frames all fall at one time. It was the weirdest thing. All of our family portraits and any photos that we had, paintings, all fell at the same time at a certain time at nighttime one night. We were all watching a movie and all the picture frames just like fell, and the ones in the bedrooms fell. Anything that we had framed in posters fell. Everything fell at the same time. And again, we didn't know why this happened. Another incident was, which was very strange to me, and I was in my teens. I remember coming home, and it was during the summer, and I was sitting in the living room reading a magazine, and directly in front of me, I could see what looked like, I guess, a man's pairs of shoes and his pant legs. I could see the bottom of his pant legs, and I knew I was alone in the apartment. Might have been about 16 years old, I believe. I knew I was alone in the apartment, and I remember thinking to myself, there's somebody here with me. I know I locked the apartment door when I got home. I was scared, I was freaked out. And every time I would turn the page of the magazine, I tried not to react to what I was witnessing, what I was seeing. Every time I would turn the page in the magazine, I would see the person back away from the entrance of that dining room area in the living room. But then I would see them step forward as I was continuing to read the magazine. And I was afraid to look up because I didn't want to know who was standing in front of me. I was scared. I was thinking to myself, okay, the phone is on the other end of the living room. I'm not going to have time to get to the phone. We didn't have cell phones then. And then I didn't have anything to throw at this person. I was like, I'm never going to make it to the door to exit the apartment because they could run to the opposite side of the kitchen and stop me right there in the entrance of the apartment. So I was freaking out inside, and every time I turned the page, the person would back up. And I don't know what went through my mind, but I know that I finally mustered up the nerve, I guess you could say, to say something and throw the magazine. And when I threw the magazine, there was nobody there. There was nobody there at all. That freaked me out. What I was seeing, I don't know, or who this person was, what they wanted. Uh, I just remembered grabbing the keys and I said, screw this. I'm going to go sit outside until somebody comes home, and then I'll enter the apartment. Another experience I had, I was also in my teens. The apartment place that we lived in, they would paint the apartments every year, and sometimes the paint fumes were a little strong. But on this night, it was my turn to sleep in the living room because our rooms were being painted. And like I said, the fumes were strong. My room was being painted. So I was sleeping on the couch, and we didn't have blinds, vertical blinds covering the windows, so we could basically see the street light shining in, even though we had sheer curtains. And I could see it clearly. I fell asleep, and at approximately 3 a.m. in the morning, I remember looking at the clock I had sitting next to me because I had to be up early because I had to take a test in school, and I wanted to make sure that I was ready for this test in school. And I just felt like I wasn't alone in the living room, and all of a sudden I feel something compress the cushion down where my feet were. And then I felt the cushion going up and down like if somebody was jumping up and down at the bottom of my feet. And I looked and I didn't see anything. I didn't see anyone. And I looked at the clock again and I was like, okay, it's 3 in the morning. So I screamed. I screamed. I threw my blanket. I screamed. And I remember everyone coming out and saying, oh my God, what happened? And I told them what I experienced, and they were like, oh, you'll be okay, whatever. I could not sleep after that happened. I managed to get up early enough to go to school. But I could not sleep. I remember leaving the living room light on just so that I could like try to close my eyes and get some rest. But I just that moment, just feeling that way was weird, really weird for me, and scary. I thought I was going crazy, but yeah. So I figured I'd share some of these with you. I do have a lot more, and if you guys are interested and you want me to continue talking about my stories and my experiences, let me know. Give me a like if you enjoy this, because it would help me, and I can share some more stories and share more adventures, our vlogs when we go out and investigate. And Jonathan and I will
get some more subscribers on there too.
Yeah, that's right. We gotta get more many subscribers.
Celia's Paranormal Vlogs.
I'm trying. I am trying very hard. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great night. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you want to hear some more stories, and I will share more. Bye.